the team. Hopefully they can get some base defenses off of that they can play action, they can attack with play action. But I do think, to me, Dan, that was kind of the big takeaway I had from this game was like, all right, like, John Harbaugh brought Patrick Ricard to New York for a reason. He is going to be a huge part of this offense moving forward.
Yeah, and Mina, you mentioned Malik Nabers. How about this? New on NFL Live from our Giants reporter, Jordan Renan. Malik Nabers actually took reps in live 11-on-11 drills while wearing a red jersey, usually reserved for quarterbacks. He also caught 3 passes in 7-on-7 drills. So this is the first time in full-speed live drills since tearing his knee. Great to see. There have been some questions around what Nabers' health actually would look like. I think we all agreed if he's healthy, that changes the way we look at this offense. So we'll keep an eye on that. Elsewhere in the NFC East, Von Miller signing with the Cowboys. The 8-time Pro Bowler agreed to a 1-year contract worth $5.5 million with a max value of $7.5 million. Miller knows Texas well. He attended DeSoto High School before Texas A&M, so he's back home in a way. And Miller's former teammate in Denver, DeMarcus Ware, said this on the signing. Quote, you got a lot of guys that come in, older guys, former guys like me, and they can teach. But it's different when you got somebody sitting in the seat with you that's going to get padded up, learning the same things as you and performing. Those guys, they looked up to you, but their whole careers. But now I get to play with him. It's a totally different mindset the boys are going to have now. He's talking about some of that youth that they're going to rely on for the Cowboys. And now they get to say, yeah, like, I grew up watching you, and now you're my teammate. Mina, Miller, late in his career, right? But this has been the offseason of the Cowboys bolstering this defense. They've done a lot of it. Do you see Von Miller having a good immediate impact on this Dallas D?
He gives them depth, which is something they now kind of have a lot of at edge. And it actually reminds me a little bit of the build in Seattle, where the strength of your team is your defensive tackles. Quinnen Williams is the focal point of this defensive line. But at edge now, you have Rashawn Gary, who you added, Donovan Ezeraku, who I think quietly was quite good last year. You add Von Miller, you got the first-round draft pick Malachi Lawrence. A lot of those players, by the way, are very good against the run as well, similarly to Seattle. But I think the point is this. This is a defense that's going to rush for a lot, and now you have waves of pass rushers that you can send at the quarterback over the course of the game. So even if he's not, obviously 2016 Von Miller, just having him there late in the game as a depth piece is going to be valuable for this defense.
Von Miller had 9 sacks last season. The Cowboys defense had 9 sacks on third down as a unit.
Ooh.
So no, he is not going to be a guy that breaks the sack record, but 9 sacks in only 246 pass rushes is pretty darn good. And so for a unit that is vastly improved, for the opportunity to have this guy in a clear and obvious pass rush situation 10 times a game, 12 times a game is going to be a massive deal. I think it's situationally a good addition. If we fast forward to December and you tell Cowboys fans, hey, Von Miller's got 10 sacks, that means the Cowboys are more than likely a top half defense.
Yeah.
He's played in situational football, and they're probably going to be a playoff team. And so I think that this is something that not only will, in those moments, give him the chance to either win one-on-ones or maybe attract a little of attention, but also in the division last year, those 2 young pass rushers now can tap into him about some of those divisional opponents, both scheme and individual talent.
Yeah, 7.5 of those 9 sacks you're talking about came on plays with exactly 4 pass rushers. There you go. All right, coming up, Fernando Show officially up and running in Vegas. So how did the debut go? Well, Dan's going to go to the touchscreen, show you what went right for the rookie quarterback. Don't miss this, all around the #1 overall pick. It's next, right here on NFL Live. We'll be right back.
Live. I'm Jamie Erdahl alongside Manti Te'o. Don't be confused. We are here in our Good Morning Football studio in Los Angeles. Manti, we started today with the details of Von Miller's signing with Dallas. How does Von Miller make the Cowboys better?
Well, now you pair him opposite of Rashawn Gary, and Von Miller said that he gets out of bed, he can get you 8 sacks. Well, Von, you're going to get more than that because you already have 2 Super Bowls and you're Super Bowl MVP. So add that to the equation, Jamie. Bright things are looking for the Dallas Cowboys in that defense.
Veteran Von up front, rookie Caleb Downs in the back. That's a good look at defense in Dallas. Tomorrow on our show, GMFB, we will start looking ahead at preseason week 2, specifically for the Raiders. Is there anything Fernando Mendoza can do to start week 1 of the regular season? We're still talking about this. We'll get into it here on Good Morning Football each and every weekday on NFL Network, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. And for the first time ever, longtime friends, now coworkers. Back to you, Laura Rutledge, and the NFL Live crew.
thanks to Jamie. And how about this? We're talking about Fernando Mendoza, too, as we should. The #1 overall pick, Fernando, sharp in his preseason debut. He completed 10 of 16 passes for 97 yards and a touchdown during 4 drives. Mendoza spoke after his preseason debut about Raiders minority owner Tom Brady addressing the team the night before that first preseason game. Here's what he said.
Mr. Brady was able to talk to our team last night, and he said, like, no matter how good of a high school or college player you were, the NFL is a different level. And I felt that tonight, and I have a lot to grow from.
I love how he calls him Mr. Brady.
Always probably will.
I know. Okay, you've had a chance to dive into the film of Mendoza's first NFL action. I'm really excited to see this. What did you like from him in his Raiders debut?
Yeah, they attacked, and Fernando attacked some of the stuff.
Cowboys Nation, something is happening in Dallas, and I don't think we're looking at the finished product yet. Because after everything you just heard about Von Miller, after hearing analysts openly talk about this Cowboys defense becoming a top-half unit and potentially helping push Dallas back into the playoffs, there's one question that suddenly becomes impossible to ignore. What if Dallas isn't done? Think about what was just said. Von Miller had 9 sacks last season. 9! And the Cowboys defense had 9 sacks on 3rd down as an entire unit. That's not some meaningless comparison. That's exactly why bringing a player like Miller into this defense matters. Dallas doesn't need him to rewind the clock 10 years. They don't need 2016 Von Miller. They need the veteran who understands exactly how to destroy a protection when the game reaches 3rd and long, when the quarterback has to throw, and when one defensive play can change an entire Sunday. And now, imagine those fresh legs coming after quarterbacks in the 4th quarter. Imagine offensive tackles spending 3 quarters dealing with wave after wave of pressure, only to look across the line late in the game and see Von Miller waiting for another opportunity. That's when this gets scary. But maybe there's another move that could make it terrifying. Because Vita Vea's situation in Tampa Bay has become one of the most fascinating stories to watch. Vea requested a trade after contract negotiations with the Buccaneers reached an impasse, although Tampa Bay has publicly maintained that it does not plan to move him. So let's be absolutely clear. There is no confirmed Vita Vea to Dallas deal here. This is speculation. But Cowboys fans, tell me that possibility doesn't make your imagination run wild. Vita Vea isn't just another defensive tackle. He's the kind of massive interior presence who can change the geometry of an offense. Put a player like that in the middle, and suddenly running lanes become smaller. Centers and guards need help. Double teams become part of the conversation, and every extra body committed inside can create opportunities somewhere else. Now, connect the dots. Dallas just added Von Miller to a defense that analysts are already describing as vastly improved. They talked about waves of pass rushers. They talked about keeping players fresh. They talked about situational pressure. They even suggested that if Miller reaches around 10 sacks, we could be talking about a Cowboys team with a top-half defense and playoff football in its future. And now add Vita Vea to that hypothetical picture. Are you kidding me? That wouldn't simply be adding another recognizable name. That would change how offensive coordinators prepare for Dallas. And that's why this possibility is so intriguing. Not because somebody has reported that Vea is definitely becoming a Cowboy. They haven't. It's intriguing because Dallas has already shown through its defensive moves that this organization understands the urgency. They're adding experience. They're adding depth. They're trying to build a defense capable of surviving 17 games and still attacking people when December arrives. And if an opportunity suddenly appears to add an elite-level force to the middle, that's when the phone has to become very interesting. Because championship defenses aren't built around one superstar doing everything. They're built around problems. One problem at the edge, another problem inside, another player coming in fresh, another matchup the offense can't solve. That's what Dallas has the opportunity to create. And here's the part that should have Cowboys Nation paying very close attention. Vita Vea's situation isn't settled. His trade request has been reported. His contract dispute has been public. And while Tampa Bay says it wants to keep him, circumstances in the NFL can change quickly. So don't confuse possibility with certainty, but don't ignore the possibility either. Von Miller may have been the move that told us Dallas is serious. Vita Vea could be the move that tells the entire NFC Dallas is coming. Picture that defensive front walking into December healthy, deep, violent, and capable of attacking quarterbacks without having to sell out with constant blitzes. Picture Dak Prescott in this offense getting the football back because the defense just forced another third down stop. Picture AT&T Stadium in a playoff game with that defensive line hunting a quarterback with the season on the line. That's the vision. And maybe Dallas never gets the opportunity to make this particular move. Maybe Tampa Bay finds a way to keep Vea. But if that door opens even slightly, Jerry Jones and this Cowboys front office need to be paying attention. Because sometimes a good defense needs one more piece before it becomes something opponents genuinely fear. And Cowboys Nation, after what we just heard about Von Miller, I'm starting to wonder whether Dallas is one move away from becoming exactly that. So now I want to hear from you. If Vita Vea actually becomes available, should Dallas go all in and bring him to the Cowboys? Would Von Miller plus Vita Vea turn this defense into one of the most dangerous units in the NFC? Drop your thoughts below, hit like and subscribe, because if Dallas makes another move up front, Cowboys Nation might be looking at something much bigger than anybody expected.